says Bevtez shares the birthday with Martin Luther King Jr. and Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Interesting. And are we going to go to the Zoom room now?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. Also, our dear friend Mindy Uggan, who worked with us for many, many years, she sent me a nice birthday note, and she goes, I hope you listen to your best Backstreet Boys song, which is interesting because I always used to chide her that on her birthday, three important things happened. Mindy was born, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys was born, and Mount St. Helens erupted. all on her birthday. But Landon, you're coming in now from the NWS, and you actually share a birthday with a... I guess it makes you an even more of a celebrity on here, because what else happened on your birthday, my friend?
Well, there's something way back in history. I think it's called Liberation Day of Guam.
Nice. So Landon 21st. Is born on July 21st.
Yes. So, and actually I share that special day with my twin brother every year. So yeah, July 21st, that is our birthday. And we have a special event every year. As long as COVID's not going
throws
on,
a parade for you
and all the festivities. Yeah, and actually, you see, I'm in the operations area of the office today because we had a little brouhaha. My brother's still working from the night shift. Wave, Brendan.
Hey, Brandon, what's up, man?
We have another Brandon over there in the background. So we had a schedule shift overnight. So my brother was working. I came in early to relieve him of duty at 6 o'clock, and he's still here. Right. So, oh well, I got to work on my stuff.
It looks like all hands.
So yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on, and I think you have a video that I sent you last week, Jason.
Yep, Joseph's bringing it up right now.
See it. Okay, you're bringing it up. So this is something I did a time lapse. My brother was outbound Friday morning and said, "Oh, get a time lapse of the clouds," because we had a very light southwest wind flow over the island, so it was generating that island convection right over the spine of the island from southwest to northeast. And so I took the time lapse, but halfway through that time lapse, you see the clouds are kind of bubbling and billowing in place over the runway. And then they start moving off to the right of the screen. That's when we had some west winds right about 8 to 12 miles per hour kicking in. So it pushed all that development off to the side of the screen. Now, if you look really close to the screen, just to the left of the FAA control tower, you might see a little burst of smoke right above the surface. That was that grass fire on Mount Santa Rosa. And so when I got wind of that, I happened to look at the video. I'm like, hey, there's that fire right there. So I caught it from start to smoldering. So it was really cool to see that billowing smoke just come out of nowhere. Wow. And then disperse eventually.
How long was that time lapse? How long did it take you to film this time lapse?
That was 100-time compression, so it was about 30 seconds time lapse, expanding over, I think it was about 48, 49, 50 minutes.
Wow, crazy. Landon, we got a release this morning from, I believe it was Homeland Security. National Weather Service advisories in effect for the Marianas hazardous seas remain. Is that why it's looking kind of busy over there at the NWS in Teason?
Yeah, it's pretty busy out here. We're watching a lot of stuff going on. And so in the meteorological world, I just flipped my screen around to our water vapor. In the meteorological world, it's exciting because, as you know, we are in the dry season. So there's not much happening this time of the year. We do have the remnants of our typhoon from a week and a half ago. That crawled along the eastern side of the Philippines. I think it was in the Philippine area of responsibility for about 8 days. And then it started making its turn to the north, northeast, and then eastward. It came back into the Weather Service Guam area of responsibility, which borders along 130 east and 25 north. So it came back into our area of responsibility. We had to start doing routine public advisories while it remains in that area. It was weakening and then has become more of a remnant system of itself. And you see the moisture plume from that storm right up there. It is a shadow of its former self. It was the strongest typhoon on record for the month of April. So we have the remnants, the convergent tail of that stuff right across the Mariana Islands, and it goes all the way down toward Yap and Palau. And we'll be dealing with that for the next couple of days. The other big news, and Homeland Security has been great in helping us get the word out, we have hazardous season surf, and that's the biggest concern we have here. Okay, yeah, that's the biggest concern we have here in the region, or the hazardous season surf from that strong wind field associated with the storm. So let me go switch my screens over. I'm going to go to this screen over here. This is our infrared showing that plume of moisture. And as Brandon wrote in his forecast discussion overnight, an atmospheric river. And so I'm going to dim this down just a little bit to highlight the lightning. So you see all that glitter, that's the lightning strikes overnight. We had a lot of thunderstorms just west of Guam and then northward into Rota and Tinian and Saipan waters and over the islands up there. So Tinian and Saipan, they've been seeing a lot more action than we've seen here across Guam. Most of that moisture is keeping just to our west and just to our north. And we're going to see that trend continue today. We do have a short-term weather statement in effect for Saipan and Tinian through 10 o'clock this morning for heavy downpours, gusty winds, up to an inch or more of rainfall over the next couple hours. Locally higher amounts, very possible with this type of moisture pattern. And this atmospheric river is set to continue in place at least for the next 24 to 36 hours. So are we expecting a complete deluge and a washout for Guam? Not so much. We do expect more of a scattered nature of showers and thunderstorms. They'll be off and on throughout the next 24 to 36 hours. So keep an eye to the sky, because when it does come in, like it did this morning around 6 a.m. on my way into the office, it'll hit hard. We had wind gusts popping up to about 35, 36 mile per hour. That's just a wind gust, not sustained. Otherwise, sustained winds are significantly less, around 15 miles per hour. So Jason, if you want to go ahead and queue up the slides, we'll get right into the action for our forecast. A lot of headlines. Obviously, the high surf advisory for north and west facing reefs. I'm going to go into greater detail on that very shortly. High risk of rip currents. We have a small craft advisory. The Guam fire danger is extreme, and we have that rainfall out there. So that's going to help mitigate the short-term fire threat for us. But right now, we do have an extreme fire danger. Moderate drought continues for Saipan, Tinian, Guam. We're going to see that possibly get a little bit of relief with the heavy rains across Saipan and Tinian. Special weather statement, we do have that in effect for Agrigan, Pagan, and Alamagan Islands. That's the far northern Sinamai. With the heavier weather, winds, and waves, they expect that they're closer to that remnant of the typhoon. For Micronesia, no alerts currently in effect for Micronesia, except for the ongoing drought information statement. Extreme drought for Woche and the Marshall Islands, severe drought for Kwajalein, and moderate drought for Kapinga Maringi in the southern Pohnpei state. That's their best condition we've seen since really August or September. So gradual improvement. The next slide, the current conditions here at the airport. We were struggling to get out of the 70s this morning with those showers overhead. The south-southwest winds around 15 miles per hour, and the heavier showers, those winds will bump up to between 20 and 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 35, 36 miles per hour. So brace for that. These are going to be short-lived gusts, and then they'll settle right back down after the showers pass by. Mostly cloudy to the south and overcast to the north, with scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, more so to the north across Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. If you're going to be doing some boating, I would stay in port today. It's not a good day to be out in the boat. Rainfall yesterday, 0.03 inches, bringing our total for the month at 1.46 inches, and still we're below normal for this time of the year with under 10 inches at this point for the year. The next slide, this is where we are right now, the high surf advisory. There's been a couple of water rescues and the ongoing search for I think the fishermen or the snorkeler off of Tangeesan Beach. This is a major concern because even when the weather is beautiful out there, the waves and the surf, they are very hazardous with strong rip currents. High surf advisory is in effect for Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan through 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. Now, if you're caught in the rip current, well, the first thing is don't get caught in the rip current. Always swim with a buddy, but when we have hazardous surf advisories in effect, it's best to avoid those areas where those waves and that surf is pounding. Go to another beach where the waves are smaller, that's not in our alert area. If you're caught in the rip current, of course, yell for help. Make sure you're with somebody or on a lifeguard at beach so they can have help quickly. And then swim outside of that rip to the left or right, parallel to the shore. Do not swim against that current because you will lose that battle. So keep that in mind. And again, when in doubt, don't go out because you will be quickly overwhelmed. So beaches under advisory on the next slide, Jason. everything on north and west facing reefs. We do have a northwest swell and a north swell, and they're combining together to pound our beaches right now. Everything from Taragi Beach up at Anderson Air Force Base, Retidian Beach, all the way down to Tangisan, all exposures of Tumon Bay down to Iganya Bay, across Apra Harbor, and then down the west side of southwestern Guam, Agate, Yamatic, down to Maritzo. So watch out for these areas. This is where the surf is high and it's hazardous. Also in the open ocean, small craft advisory. I was out there fishing with the U.S. Embassy staff and the ambassador. It was a fantastic opportunity, but I was a little bit woozy from the rocking and rolling that day. I felt it even the next day, waking up out of the bed. I felt like I was still rocking in the bed. So small craft advisory, there's waves. We're seeing combined seas of 7 to 10 feet. So today is not a good day if you have a weak stomach or if you're operating a small boat. Just stay in port today. Things will improve later in the week. That advisory is in effect through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So keep in mind if you're planning any kind of boat activity. Now, what we're looking at in the buoys, we did have that spike in the north and northwest swell this morning. And this is pretty much in line with where I was showing you all our expectations for the season surf a week ago. So that did come through. The models backed off a little bit for yesterday and today's sea conditions, but the buoys show that spike over the last 12 to 24 hours. And we did reach right around 10 feet with the northwest and north swell. So combined seas, we are at 8 to 10 feet this morning, and that's going to gradually subside in the coming days, but remain hazardous, at least for the short term. Now, if you go to our Facebook page, U.S. National Weather Service Guam, these are some of the images you will be seeing. This is where we are looking at early this morning, the showers and thunderstorms inbound to our west. And then the next slide, this is a larger picture where we were looking at things 2 days ago. That typhoon re-entered our area and is keeping well to our north, but we're seeing those fringe effects, that area of convergence. And the next slide, this is a photo my brother put together this morning showing the intense showers and thunderstorms across Saipan and Tinian and the lesser activity to the south. This is going to be our trend at least for the next 24 to 36 hours. So again, not a washout or a deluge of sorts for Guam, but we could see locally heavy rainfall when these heavy showers and thunderstorms do roll over the island from the southwest to the northeast today. So keep an eye to the sky and plan accordingly. This next plot, this is our polar orbiting satellite showing the surface winds over the ocean. And this is what's going on. We have a ridge wedging in from our southeast. Those winds are coming up from the south over the Mariana Islands. They are converging with the larger, stronger wind field on the south side of the remnants of our tropical storm typhoon well to our north. So these winds are coming together in a little convergence boundary right over the Mariana Islands. And the showers and thunderstorms extend from northeast of Saipan all the way down over Guam to Yap to Palau and then on towards just east of the Philippines. This is going to be the trend, and eventually it's going to break down in about 24 to 36 hours. And then the trade winds will start to make their way back into the region by midweek. So for today, the week ahead, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms for Guam. More showers and thunderstorms farther north in the Sinai. Winds will be southwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. It does not feel like dry season right now. Higher gusts with showers, combined seas of 8 to 10 feet. Winds southwest at 15 to 20 knots with small craft advisory. Surf north-facing reefs. That's 8 to 12 feet. That's exposures such as Ipao Beach down on towards the Fiesta Hotel. And then feet, high rip risk and high surf advisory. Midweek, the showers continue, but we'll see some gradual improvement by Wednesday and Thursday. Season surf will also gradually decline through midweek. And then this weekend, we're looking much better, partly cloudy skies with isolated showers. We're going to be back in more to of a seasonal trade wind pattern with east trades at 10 to 15 miles per hour and combined seas of 5 to 7 feet. So that's all I've got for you this morning. And I can't stress enough the hazards of the high surf and the strong rip currents.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Landon. That was a lot to unpack. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.
Hey,
And
your brother's video bombing behind you. So
yeah, yes. Hey, and if
hey,
there's,
Brandon.
Oh, he is.
if anything comes up
He can't hear you,
weather-wise,
but they say hello.
what's up, Brandon?
Hey, right on, man.
If anything comes up weather-wise, Landon, shoot us a message, and we'll be sure to get you back on anytime this week.
Sounds
There you
good.
go. All right. That's work week weather. It's brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Say hello to 2021 with the most reliable network in the Marianas. To visit a Docomo Pacific retail location, we welcome you to walk in. For added convenience, book your visit ahead by downloading the Skip Lino app on your Apple or Android phone. Get it? Skip Line. That's why it's called Skip Lino app.
Clever marketing.
All right. For safer ways to pay, our Tamuning and Harmon GFA drive-through locations are still open to serve you. Docomo Pacific, better together. 8:44. We got to take a quick break. Have to. It's in our DNA. We have to take a break because we've been working for 43 minutes this hour. We're back with Department of Ag.
Wait, and we're gonna ask them about the sleeping grass, right?
We're going to ask them about the sleep. Guys, just heads up, Jason's random left field question this morning is about, he actually asked me if we still have sleeping grass.
I'm from the north. I haven't seen sleeping grass in years, you guys.
I'm embarrassed, really. So we're going to find out. Christine probably knows about